Welcome, cursed friends, to another episode of Creepy Horror. Welcome to a little boy's bedroom. The storm outside clawed at the windows, wind howling like wolves on the hunt. Sarah adjusted the volume on the TV, trying to drown it out with a laugh track. Somewhere upstairs, little Ben stirred. Then came the footsteps, soft and careful, padding down the stairs. "Sarah?" Ben's small voice trembled. She turned, sighing. Ben was a cute kid, but he was one of those high-maintenance kids who constantly needed to be entertained. She'd hoped he'd finally gone to sleep so she could relax. "What's up, buddy? Can't sleep?" Ben shuffled into the living room in his dinosaur pajamas, clutching his stuffed rabbit. "There's something under my bed." Sarah frowned in annoyance. Yet again, Ben was needy for attention. But the look in his wide, pale eyes pricked her with unease. She reminded herself that he could be annoying, sure, but he was still just a kid who could be afraid of the boogeyman. "Want me to check it out?" He nodded solemnly. Sarah followed him upstairs, flashlight in hand. His bedroom was neat, filled with colorful drawings and shelves of picture books. Only the bed seemed out of place. Its skirt fluttered slightly, though no window was open. "Okay, Monster Patrol is here," Sarah joked, kneeling. She lifted the bed skirt and shone the flashlight underneath. At first, she saw nothing but shadows. Then her light caught movement. Not a monster, but a hand. Long, gnarled fingers curled into the floorboards, nails black and sharp as thorns. And beyond the hand, eyes, dozens of them, blinking independently. Sarah recoiled, hitting her head on the frame. "Did you see her?" Ben whispered. His voice held excitement. "The others wouldn't believe me. They said I was a liar." Sarah's heart slammed against her ribs. "What was that?" Ben climbed onto the bed, cross-legged. "She says she likes you." "Who?" "The witch, the one that lives under there. I told you she's not a monster, but nobody listens." His voice took on an edge. "No one ever believes me." Sarah backed away. "This isn't funny. What is this? Some projector? A prank?" Ben's eyes darkened. "She was here before I was born. She likes new people." The floor beneath Sarah's feet vibrated faintly, like a low purr of something waking. Ben hummed a strange, tuneless melody. The room darkened despite the flashlight still flickering on the floor. Sarah turned to flee, but the door wouldn't budge. It had fused to the wall. "Ben," she said shakily, "I believe you. Now let me out." "But it's playtime now." A crack split the floor beneath the bed. From it, a thick black mist spilled out, dragging with it a stench of earth and decay. A whisper slithered through Sarah's mind. "Stay and play with us." The whisper wasn't in her ears, it was inside her. She stumbled back as something long and thin reached out from beneath the bed. An arm, not skeletal, but wrong, jointed in too many places, twitching unnaturally. Sarah screamed, but it was swallowed by the room. Ben watched silently. His face was expressionless now, like a doll's. The witch pulled herself halfway into the room. Her face was a twisted mosaic of children's nightmares. Mismatched eyes, a lipless mouth grinning too wide, hair that moved as if underwater. "You smell like broken promises," the witch said in a voice that buzzed, "just like the others." Sarah tried to run to the closet, but the floor warped, lengthening beneath her. Ben continued humming. "Stop," Sarah cried as she continued to run in place. "He brought you here," the witch said, "like a good boy." Sarah glared over at Ben. "Why? Why would you do this?" Ben blinked. "So I could have more friends." He lifted his small arms to reveal deep scars circling his wrists. They were symbols that had been carved with childlike clumsiness. Sarah knew for a fact those scars hadn't existed earlier in the night. Were they an illusion or something dormant? "She came to me when I was a baby," Ben said. "She said I belonged to her, that I was her baby, not my parents." Ben pointed at one wall. A crude crayon drawing depicted a stick figure woman with black hair and clawed hands, looming over a baby in a crib. I used to cry all the time, but she played with me. She showed me how to make dolls, and to make the dolls become my friends. I like having friends to play with. They don't go away. The air became thick, heavy with the scent of blood and mildew. The wallpaper began to peel, revealing the brick walls beneath where ancient symbols pulsed like wounds. Whispers crawled through the walls. To Sarah, they sounded like other young women. She somehow finally reached the closet and flung it open. Inside on the floor, someone had drawn a circle of salt, but the protective ring had been broken, the salt scattered. Broken remnants of charms lay like shattered bones. The inside walls of the closet were scarred by scratch marks. In the bedroom, the witch suddenly hissed and lunged. Sarah screamed and ducked into the closet, slamming the door shut behind her. Ben's voice through the wood of the door twisted into something older and deeper. "You can't hide from us. You're here to play, just like them." Sarah clawed at the walls, frantically searching for a way out. As her fingernails carved new grooves, she realized she was mimicking what others had done before her, scratching at the wood in desperation. The witch's nails raked the outside of the door. "Dig, dig, dig, you won't be going anywhere." Suddenly the door began to shudder beneath the weight of violent thuds. Sarah screamed as the closet door exploded outward, shards of wood spitting through the air. Something seized Sarah and flung her across the room to hit the wall with a thud. Her vision swam. The witch crawled toward her, her many joints bending the wrong way, her hands skittering like insects. Her grin widened. Ben approached slowly alongside the witch. His eyes were glazed with something ancient. "I like to play," he said. "We're going to play." "You're just a child. She's using you," Sarah gasped. "She's a monster." Ben tilted his head. "No, she's my mama." The witch leaned closer, carrying with her the smell of the grave. She whispered into Sarah's ear with a breath thick and cold. "You'll make a pretty doll, just like the others." Sarah reached for something, anything with which to defend herself. Her fingers brushed a broken charm that had skittered out from the closet. It pulsed faintly, still holding some kind of protection. She thrust it toward the witch. The creature shrieked and recoiled, smoke rising from her flesh. Ben hissed. Sarah ran. She burst into the hallway, but it wasn't the hallway anymore. It was a forest of limbs, arms and legs forming columns of flesh. The stairs writhed like they were covered in a carpet of fingers. Ben's laughter echoed behind her. "Running is fun. Run, run, we'll catch you." Sarah stumbled forward, dodging figures that tried to grab her feet and ankles. Some caught her, and she tripped, tumbling down the stairs to the bottom. Dazed, she crawled to a nearby door, yanked it open, and tumbled through. It was the basement, cold and peacefully silent. For a moment, she thought she was free. Then she saw the others. Dozens of them, young women frozen mid-scream, their bodies pale as wax, suspended in the air like puppets, like dolls. And carved into the floor, a massive sickle, pulsing red. Sarah backed away. Ben stepped into the room, eyes glowing faintly. "I keep the dolls here so they don't get messed up. I'll keep you here too." He smiled and clapped as the witch joined his side. "Oh goody. We're going to play together forever." Sarah never left the house. The police found no trace of her. Another babysitter came a week later. Ben greeted her with a hug and a smile. He asked her to play with him, again and again and again, until her smile became forced and her laughter strained. "There's something under my bed," he said later that night. The sitter nodded tiredly, but as she followed him upstairs, she paused. Something in the air smelled like burning iron, and the room was already humming.